Hello, everyone. I am Natasha, your host for today. If you are new here, let me tell you, we share new English learning videos to guide you step by step on your journey to fluency. In today's masterclass, you will not only improve your English listening and speaking skills, but also expand your vocabulary and sharpen your confidence. Today's lesson is all about taking your English to an advanced level, learning to speak with natural rhythm, advanced expressions, and the kind of fluency that makes conversations effortless. We will practice together through real-life examples, daily situations, and guided speaking exercises designed to help you think in English and respond naturally. By the end of this video, you will feel more confident, sound more fluent, and have new vocabulary ready to use in your everyday conversations. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss more English lessons like this. So, get comfortable, stay focused, and let's begin our advanced English fluency journey together today. Now, let's start with something simple but powerful. When you want to sound advanced in English, you need to pay attention, not only to the words you use, but also to the way you connect them together. For example, instead of saying, "I am very tired," an advanced speaker might say, "I'm absolutely exhausted." Notice how the choice of vocabulary changes the feeling of the sentence. Try saying it with me slowly. "I'm absolutely exhausted." Good. Now, let's add a little context so you can practice in a real-life way. Imagine you have just finished a long day at work or at school, and a friend asks how you are feeling. Instead of saying, "I'm very tired," you can say, "Honestly, I'm absolutely exhausted today." This makes your English sound more natural, more expressive, and more advanced. Let's practice again together. Repeat after me. "Honestly, I'm absolutely exhausted today." Take a pause. Now try to say it again, but with your own feeling, as if you are really speaking to someone you know. That's how you begin to train fluency, not just repeating words, but practicing them in real, emotional contexts. Another important step to advanced fluency is learning to link your ideas smoothly. For example, instead of speaking in short sentences like, "I went to the store, I bought milk, I came home," you can connect them by saying, "After going to the store, I picked up some milk, and then I came straight home." Do you hear how the flow is more natural and connected? This is how advanced English speakers create longer, smoother sentences that sound confident and professional. Let's practice. Repeat after me. "After going to the store, I picked up some milk, and then I came straight home." Again. Let's try it one more time. But imagine you are telling a friend about your day. Add your own emotion. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're cheerful. The key is to practice with feeling, not just with words. Now, let's work on another example. Instead of saying, "I don't know," which is very basic, advanced English speakers often use phrases like, "I'm not entirely sure," or, "That's a good question. Let me think about it." These phrases show confidence, even when you don't have the answer right away. Say it with me. "I'm not entirely sure." Again, "That's a good question. Let me think about it." These expressions not only improve your fluency, but also make you sound polite, and thought. Full, which is very important in real conversations. Here's a quick exercise for you. I'll ask you a question, and you respond out loud using one of these advanced phrases. Ready? What's the capital of Canada? Did you answer, I'm not entirely sure? Or, that's a good question. Let me think about it. Good. This is exactly how you practice to sound more advanced, even in simple situations. The path to advanced English fluency is not about memorizing complicated grammar rules. It's about practicing the natural flow of language, learning better words and expressions, and building the confidence to use them without hesitation. And that's exactly what we're going to do throughout this masterclass. So now, let's move into vocabulary expansion. Many learners get stuck using the same simple words again and again. Words like good, bad, happy, sad. To reach an advanced level, you need to replace these with richer vocabulary that expresses more precise meaning. For example, instead of saying good, you can use words like excellent, outstanding, remarkable, or brilliant, depending on the context. Instead of bad, you could say terrible, awful, horrendous, or disastrous. Each word paints a slightly different picture, and that's the power of vocabulary. Let's practice with some sentences. Repeat after me. That was an outstanding performance. Now again, the food at that restaurant was absolutely disastrous. Great. Now try to create your own sentence using one of these advanced words. Speak it out loud. The more you do this, the faster your vocabulary will grow and your fluency will follow. Now let's talk about how you can make your English sound more advanced by using phrases that show subtle shades of meaning. For example, instead of always saying, I like it, you can say, I really enjoy it, or I absolutely love it, or even, I'm quite fond of it. Each of these gives your listener a slightly different feeling, and it makes your English sound richer. Let's practice. Repeat after me slowly. I really enjoy it. Again. I absolutely love it. And one more. I'm quite fond of it. Excellent. Now imagine you are talking about your favorite TV show or book. Which one would you use? Try it out loud. I absolutely love this show, or I'm quite fond of this novel. Feel the difference in tone as you say it. Advanced fluency also comes from learning to soften your language. Native speakers often avoid sounding too direct by using softening expressions like a bit, kind of, or sort of. Instead of saying, this food is bad, you might say, this food is a bit disappointing, or it's kind of bland. These little words make your English sound polite and more natural. Try with me. It's a bit disappointing. Now, it's kind of bland. Great. Now imagine you are at a restaurant and your friend asks if you like the food. Instead of being too direct, you soften your response and sound more natural. Another skill for advanced fluency is upgrading your transitions between ideas. Instead of always using and, but, or so, you can use words like however, nevertheless, on the other hand, and as a result. These connect your sentences smoothly and show that you can handle more complex thoughts in English. Repeat with me. I wanted to go out, however, it started raining. Again. The movie was long, nevertheless, I enjoyed it. One more. On the other hand, staying home gave me time to relax. Beautiful. These linking words make your speech sound more advanced, and they are also useful in writing. Now, let's do a small exercise together. I'll give you two simple sentences, and you connect them with an advanced linking phrase. Ready? I studied hard. I passed the exam. How can you connect them? You might say, I studied hard. As a result, I passed the exam. Try it with me. Good. That's exactly how you train your brain to think in more advanced patterns. Another key part of advanced fluency is using idiomatic expressions. Idioms make your English sound more alive and closer to what native speakers use. For example, instead of saying, I'm very busy, you could say, I'm swamped, or I have a lot on my plate. Instead of, I don't understand, you could say, that went over my head. Let's practice these idioms. Repeat after me. I'm swamped right now. Again, I have a lot on my plate today. And one more. That completely went over my head. Great. Now imagine a friend invites you out, but you have too much work. You can say, sorry, I can't tonight. I'm swamped with assignments. This will make your English sound natural and advanced at the same time. Practice with me now. Say out loud, sorry, I can't tonight. I'm swamped with assignments. Good. Feel how natural that sounds compared to simply saying, I'm busy. That's the difference advanced vocabulary makes. Confidence is another pillar of advanced fluency. Even if your grammar is not perfect, speaking with confidence can make you sound more fluent. One way to build this confidence is by using starter phrases that give you time to think. For example, phrases like, well, to be honest, or that's an interesting point, or let me put it this way. These phrases buy you a few seconds to organize your thoughts while still keeping the conversation flowing. Say them with me. Well, to be honest, again, that's an interesting point. And one more. Let me put it this way. Perfect. Now let's try a quick practice. I'll ask you a question. What's the most useful skill you've learned this year? Instead of jumping straight into the answer, start with one of these phrases. Maybe you said, well, to be honest, I think learning English has been the most useful skill so far. Excellent. That's how you build fluency naturally. Now let's expand into advanced descriptive vocabulary. Many learners say very happy, but advanced speakers say thrilled, delighted, or over the moon. Instead of very angry, use furious, enraged, or outraged. Instead of very scared, use terrified or petrified. Each of these words gives your speech more depth and emotional strength. Practice with me. I was absolutely thrilled when I got the news. Again, she was furious about the mistake. And one more. He felt petrified walking through the dark street. Excellent. Now create your own sentence with one of these words. Speak it out loud. That's how you take your vocabulary from basic to advanced. Another way to move into advanced English fluency is to practice using storytelling in your speech. Storytelling helps you connect ideas, describe events clearly, and keep your listener engaged. Even in daily conversations, telling a short story makes you sound more natural and confident. Let's try a simple example. Instead of just saying, I was late, you can turn it into a short story. I was running late this morning because the bus didn't arrive on time, and then I had to walk quickly to get to work. Do you hear how that sounds more complete and interesting? Now practice with me. Repeat slowly. I was running late this morning because the bus didn't arrive on time, and then I had to walk quickly to get to work. Good. Now try to make your own short story about being late, using details like traffic, weather, or anything that could cause delay. Speak it out loud. The more you practice storytelling, the more fluent and advanced you will sound. Another important step is to add emotion to your stories. Advanced English speakers often use expressions that show how they felt in the situation. For example, I was frustrated. I was relieved. I was shocked. I was amazed. These words add color to your English. Let's practice with a short example. I was frustrated because I missed the train, but I was relieved when I caught the next one. Repeat after me. I was frustrated because I missed the train, but I was relieved when I caught the next one. Excellent. Try to make your own sentence with I was shocked or I was amazed. This practice helps you bring emotion into your speech, which is a sign of advanced fluency. Now let's work on pronunciation and rhythm. Fluency is not just about vocabulary, but also about the flow of your speech. One technique is shadowing. You listen and repeat at the same time, matching the rhythm, tone, and speed. Let's do a shadowing exercise right now. I'll say a short sentence, and you repeat after me immediately. Ready? I can't believe how quickly the day went by. Again. I can't believe how quickly the day went by. Excellent. Now let's try a longer one. I had so many things to do today, but somehow I managed to finish everything on time. Repeat after me. I had so many things to do today, but somehow I managed to finish everything on time. Wonderful. Keep shadowing with me throughout this lesson, and your fluency will grow naturally. Another advanced technique is to practice paraphrasing. This means saying the same idea in a different way. For example, instead of saying, I don't like this movie, you can say, this movie isn't really my style, or I'm not a big fan of this film. Paraphrasing shows flexibility, and it makes your English sound more advanced. Let's practice. Repeat after me. This movie isn't really my style. Now again. I'm not a big fan of this film. Great. Now think of something you don't enjoy. Maybe a type of food or an activity. Try paraphrasing it in at least 2 different ways. This is how you train your mind to think in English. Next, let's focus on building longer sentences with advanced connectors. Instead of saying, I stayed home, I read a book. You can say, I stayed home and ended up reading a book that I had wanted to finish for a long time. Notice how the advanced version adds more detail and connects the ideas smoothly. Repeat after me. I stayed home and ended up reading a book that I had wanted to finish for a long time. Excellent. Now, create your own sentence about what you did yesterday. Adding extra details and connecting ideas, speak it out loud. The more details you add, the more advanced your English becomes. Now let's practice advanced question forms. Beginners often ask very short questions like, what do you mean? Or, where are you going? Advanced speakers ask more detailed questions like, could you explain what you mean by that? Or, where exactly are you planning to go later today? Repeat with me. Could you explain what you mean by that? Again. Where exactly are you planning to go later today? Excellent. These longer question forms show that you are comfortable with the language and can use it flexibly. Here's a practice exercise. I'll give you a basic question, and I want you to upgrade it into an advanced question. Ready? The basic question is, What do you want? How can you upgrade it? You might say, what exactly would you like me to do for you? Or, could you tell me more about what you're looking for? Practice saying one of these out loud. That's how you train yourself to speak with more confidence and precision. Finally, let's practice intonation, the rise and fall of your voice. Intonation makes your speech sound alive and expressive. Try this with me. Say, really? With a rising tone to show surprise. Now say, really? With a falling tone to show you don't believe someone. Do you feel how the meaning changes just with the sound of your voice? This is advanced fluency, not just what you say. Now let's focus on a very powerful technique for building advanced fluency, expanding your answers. Many learners answer questions with only 1 or 2 words, but advanced speakers add details, context, and feelings. For example, if someone asks, "How was your weekend?" a basic answer might be, "It was good." But an advanced answer could be, "It was great, actually. I finally had time to relax, and I also met up with a friend I hadn't seen in a while." Do you notice how much more complete and engaging that sounds? Let's practice this together. I'll ask you a question. How was your weekend? Try first giving the short answer, "It was good," and then expand it into something longer with details. Say it out loud now. Excellent. This is exactly how you train yourself to sound fluent and advanced in real conversations. Here's another example. If someone asks, "What do you usually eat for breakfast?" a short answer could be, "I eat eggs." But an advanced answer could be, "Well, most mornings I eat eggs with some bread, and sometimes I also have fruit and a cup of tea. It depends on how much time I have." Do you hear how natural and fluent that sounds? Repeat with me. "Well, most mornings I eat eggs with some bread, and sometimes I also have fruit and a cup of tea. It depends on how much time I have." Great. Now make your own answer about breakfast, adding details and variety. This is how you practice expanding your speech naturally. Another step toward advanced fluency is practicing intonation patterns in longer sentences. English is not spoken in a flat tone. It rises and falls with emotion. Let's try this together. Repeat after me with energy. "I was so excited to see her again after such a long time." Now try with a softer, calmer tone. "I was so tired after work that I just went straight to bed." Perfect. Practicing intonation makes your English sound alive, not robotic. Now let's add some advanced vocabulary for describing feelings and opinions. Instead of saying, "I think it's good," you can say, "In my opinion, it's quite impressive," or "I personally find it remarkable." Instead of "I don't like it," you could say, "I'm not particularly fond of it," or "It doesn't really appeal to me." These phrases are polite, thoughtful, and advanced. Say them with me slowly. "In my opinion, it's quite impressive." Again, "I personally find it remarkable." Now repeat, "I'm not particularly fond of it." And one more, "It doesn't really appeal to me." Excellent. Now imagine you're giving your opinion about a new movie, a book, or a meal you tried recently. Practice using one of these advanced expressions in your response. Let's do a short dialogue practice now. I'll say one line and you respond out loud with an advanced phrase. Ready? I say, "Did you enjoy the concert?" You respond, "In my opinion, it was quite impressive." Or maybe, "I personally found it remarkable." Wonderful. Practicing like this will help you respond quickly and confidently in real conversations. Now let's work on advanced vocabulary for daily activities. For example, instead of saying I woke up early, you could say I got up at the crack of dawn. Instead of I was very tired, you could say I felt completely drained. Instead of I went home, you might say I headed back home. These small upgrades make your English sound fluent and expressive. Practice with me. I got up at the crack of dawn. Again. I felt completely drained after the meeting. One more. I headed back home as soon as it started raining. Good. Now think about your own daily routine and try upgrading one sentence with advanced vocabulary. Speak it out loud. That's how you build fluency step by step. Another advanced skill is showing agreement or disagreement politely. Instead of just saying, I agree, you can say, I completely agree with you, or that's exactly how I feel. Instead of I disagree, you can say, I see your point, but I think, or I'm not sure I would put it that way. These expressions make you sound polite, thoughtful, and advanced. Repeat with me. I completely agree with you. Again. That's exactly how I feel. Now try the disagreement phrases. I see your point, but I think... And one more. I'm not sure I would put it that way. Excellent. Here's a practice exercise. I'll give you a statement and you respond with either agreement or disagreement using these phrases. Ready? Statement. Learning English is difficult for everyone. You might respond, I completely agree with you, or I see your point, but I think it depends on how you practice. Say your response out loud. Perfect. That's exactly how you practice advanced interaction skills. Now let's turn to phrases for giving advice. Beginners often say, you should do this, but advanced speakers use softer, more polite phrases like, if I were you, I would, or it might be a good idea to, or have you considered? These phrases make your advice sound friendly and respectful. Say them with me. If I were you, I would practice every day. Again. It might be a good idea to take notes when you listen to English. One more. Have you considered joining an English speaking club? Wonderful. Now try giving advice to someone who wants to improve their writing. Say it out loud using one of these advanced advice phrases. Another important element of advanced English fluency is expressing possibilities and speculation. Instead of always saying, maybe, you can use phrases like, it's quite possible that, there's a good chance that, or I wouldn't be surprised if. These expressions can sound more natural and advanced in real conversations. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. It's quite possible that he'll be late. Again. There's a good chance that we'll finish early today. One more. I wouldn't be surprised if it rained later this evening. Excellent. Now imagine you are talking about tomorrow's weather or about a friend's plan. Practice one of these phrases out loud in your own sentence. Now let's talk about expressing preferences in an advanced way. Instead of only saying, I like or I don't like, you can use phrases like, I would rather, I tend to prefer, or I'm not particularly keen on. These expressions make your English sound more refined. Say them with me slowly. I would rather stay home tonight. Again. I tend to prefer tea over coffee in the mornings. And one more. I'm not particularly keen on spicy food. Good. Now try to create your own preference sentence. Maybe about food, music, or free time. Speak it out loud. Advanced speakers also use hesitation phrases naturally to keep conversations flowing while they think. Instead of being silent, they might say, "Well, let me think," "you know," or "actually." These little fillers give you time to organize your thoughts and keep your speech natural. Practice with me. "Well, I guess that depends on the situation." Again, "Actually, I hadn't thought of it that way before." Good. Now imagine someone asks you about your future goals. Before answering, start with one of these hesitation phrases. This will make your English sound more fluent and confident. Now let's practice expressing certainty and doubt. For certainty, you can say, "I'm absolutely sure," "without a doubt," or "there's no question that." For doubt, you can say, "I'm not entirely convinced," "I have some doubts about," or "I'm not so sure." These phrases are useful in debates, discussions, and everyday conversations. Say the certainty phrases with me. "I'm absolutely sure about my decision." Again, "Without a doubt, this is the best option." One more. "There's no question that practice makes progress." Excellent. Now try the doubt phrases. "I'm not entirely convinced this will work." Again, "I have some doubts about his plan." And one more. "I'm not so sure that's a good idea." Great. Let's practice with a short exercise. I'll make a statement and you respond with either certainty or doubt. Ready? Statement. English can only be learned by living in an English-speaking country. You might respond, "I'm not entirely convinced that's true," or, "Without a doubt, you can learn English anywhere if you practice daily." Now you try. Say your response out loud. Excellent. Now let's move to advanced time expressions. Instead of saying, "I'll call you later," you could say, "I'll give you a call in a couple of hours." Instead of, "I'll see you tomorrow," you might say, "I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning." These small upgrades make your English sound polished and natural. Repeat after me. "I'll give you a call in a couple of hours." Again, "I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning." Great. Now make your own sentence about when you'll meet a friend using one of these advanced time expressions. Another skill for advanced fluency is expressing cause and effect. Beginners often use simple "because," but advanced speakers use phrases like "due to," "as a result," "consequently," or "thanks to." These add variety and show strong fluency. Say them with me. "Due to heavy traffic, I was late for the meeting." Again, "As a result of studying every day, her English improved quickly." One more. "Thanks to his help, we finished the project on time." Perfect. Now create your own cause and effect sentence using "consequently" or "thanks to." Speak it out loud now. Finally, let's look at expressing contrast. Instead of always saying, "but," you can say, "although," "even though," "whereas," or "on the contrary." These make your English sound sophisticated. Practice with me. "Although it was raining, we still went for a walk." Again, "Even though I was tired, I kept studying." One more. "I enjoy quiet evenings, whereas my brother loves going out at night." Excellent. Now make your own sentence with "although" or "whereas." Say it out loud. Now let's move into another important area of advanced English fluency, expressing degrees of certainty in the future. When talking about things that might happen, instead of always saying, "maybe it will rain," you can use expressions like, "it's likely to rain," or There's a strong possibility it will rain, or even, the chances are high that it will rain. These sound more natural and advanced than just saying, maybe. Practice with me. It's likely to rain tomorrow. Again. There's a strong possibility it will rain later this evening. One more. The chances are high that it will rain this weekend. Excellent. Now imagine you're talking about your weekend plans. Try making your own sentence with one of these phrases. Another skill is expressing conditions with advanced structures. Beginners often use, if it rains, I will stay home, but advanced speakers might say, should it rain, I'll stay home. Or, if I were to stay home, I'd probably read a book. These variations sound more flexible and fluent. Say them with me. Should it rain, I'll stay home. Again, if I were to stay home, I'd probably read a book. Good. Now create your own conditional sentence using should or if I were to. This will help you sound more advanced and confident in English. Now let's practice speculating about the past. Instead of only saying, maybe he forgot, advanced speakers use, he might have forgotten, or he could have missed the message, or he must have been busy. These modal verbs with the past form show strong fluency. Repeat after me. He might have forgotten to call me back. Again. She could have taken a different route to work. One more. He must have been really tired after the trip. Perfect. Now think of a situation from yesterday and speculate about it using might have, could have, or must have. Say it out loud. Advanced English also includes polite requests. Instead of saying, open the window, you can say, would you mind opening the window? Or, could you possibly open the window for me? These polite forms are very natural in English conversations. Say them with me. Would you mind opening the window? Again. Could you possibly open the window for me? Excellent. Now imagine you are in a cafe and you want someone to pass you the menu. Try making a polite request out loud. Now let's practice reporting speech in advanced English. Beginners say, he said, I'm tired. But advanced speakers use indirect speech like, he said that he was tired. Or instead of, she said, I don't know. You can say, she mentioned that she didn't know. These structures sound smoother and more professional. Practice with me. He said that he was tired. Again, she mentioned that she didn't know the answer. Now, create your own indirect speech sentence. For example, imagine your teacher gave advice yesterday. How would you report it? Say it now. Let's now expand vocabulary for expressing surprise. Instead of only saying, I was surprised, you can say, I was astonished, I was stunned, or I was taken aback. These words show different levels of surprise. Repeat after me. I was astonished by the news. Again, I was stunned when I heard what happened. One more. I was taken aback by his reaction. Excellent. Now practice by making your own sentence about something surprising in your life. Another area to strengthen is expressing regret or relief. Instead of always saying, gee, I regret it, you can say, I wish I had, or if only I had. For relief, you might say, luckily, fortunately, or thank goodness. These are very common in advanced conversations. Say them with me. I wish I had studied harder for the test. Again. If only I had called her earlier. Now try the relief expressions. Luckily, I caught the train just in time. Again. Fortunately, the rain stopped before we went out. one more. Thank goodness, everything turned out fine in the end. Great. Now try creating your own regret sentence and one relief sentence out loud. Finally, let's work on expressing opinions in discussions. Instead of always saying, I think, advanced speakers use, from my perspective, as far as I'm concerned, in my view, or it seems to me that. These expressions sound polite, thoughtful, and advanced. Repeat with me. From my perspective, this is the best approach. Again, as far as I'm concerned, practice is the key to fluency. One more. It seems to me that learning English gets easier with daily effort. Excellent. Now think of your own opinion about learning English and express it with one of these advanced phrases. Now let's move into expressing agreement in different ways. Instead of always saying, yes, I agree, you can use phrases like, absolutely, that's so true, I couldn't agree more, or you're spot on. These short but powerful responses sound very natural and advanced. Say them with me slowly. Absolutely. Again. That's so true. Now. I couldn't agree more. And one more. You're spot on. Excellent. Now imagine your friend says, learning English every day makes a big difference. How would you respond? Try saying, absolutely, or I couldn't agree more. Speak it out loud now. Next, let's practice expressing disagreement politely. Instead of just saying, no, you're wrong, which sounds rude, advanced speakers say things like, I see what you mean, but I have a different opinion, or I'm afraid I don't quite agree, or that's an interesting point, but I see it differently. These keep the conversation respectful and fluent. Repeat after me. I see what you mean, but I have a different opinion. Again. I'm afraid I don't quite agree. One more. That's an interesting point, but I see it differently. Great. Now imagine someone says, the best way to learn English is by memorizing grammar rules. You can respond with one of these advanced disagreement phrases. Try it out loud now. Now let's practice expressing excitement and enthusiasm. Instead of saying, I'm happy, you can say, I'm thrilled, I'm over the moon, or I'm absolutely delighted. These expressions bring more energy to your English. Say them with me. I'm thrilled about the news. Again. I'm over the moon with excitement. And one more. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today. Excellent. Now imagine you just got good news about passing an exam or getting a job. Say one of these sentences out loud as if you really mean it. Another area of advanced fluency is making suggestions. Beginners often say, let's do this, but advanced speakers say, how about we? Or, why don't we? Or, perhaps we could. These are softer and more natural ways to suggest ideas. Practice with me. How about we go for a walk after dinner? Again. Why don't we try that new restaurant tomorrow? One more. Perhaps we could watch a movie this weekend. Great. Now think of your own suggestion about what to do with a friend. Say it out loud with one of these advanced forms. Now let's practice phrases for giving opinions strongly. Sometimes you want to emphasize your view. Instead of only eyeing, I think you can say, I strongly believe that. I'm convinced that. Or, there's no doubt in my mind that. Say them with me. I strongly believe that daily practice leads to fluency. Again, I'm convinced that listening is just as important as speaking. And one more. There's no doubt in my mind that English can open doors to new opportunities. Excellent. Now, practice by creating your own strong opinion about learning languages. Another area to improve is describing frequency and habits with advanced expressions. Instead of just saying, I always do this, or I sometimes do that, advanced speakers say, on a daily basis, every now and then, from time to time, or once in a while. Repeat with me. On a daily basis, I practice English listening. Again. Every now and then, I go for a long walk to clear my mind. One more. From time to time, I read a novel in English to expand my vocabulary. Excellent. Now think of your own habit and describe it using one of these advanced expressions. Now let's work on describing contrasts in life situations. Instead of saying, I'm busy but I'm happy, you can say, even though I'm busy, I feel content, or despite my busy schedule, I still make time for family. These structures are advanced and smooth. Say them with me. Even though I'm busy, I feel content. Again. Despite my busy schedule, I still make time for family. Great. Now make your own sentence using even though or despite. Speak it aloud now. Finally, let's practice phrases for building conversation naturally. Instead of stopping after one answer, advanced speakers use follow-up lines like, by the way, that reminds me, speaking of which, or actually, there's something else I'd like to mention. These keep the conversation flowing. Practice with me. By the way, did you hear about the new cafe in town? Again. That reminds me, I wanted to tell you about something. One more. Speaking of which, have you finished the book we talked about? Excellent. Now imagine you're chatting with a friend. Try using one of these conversation-building phrases to add something new. Now let's turn to advanced vocabulary for describing change. Instead of simply saying, things changed, you can say, things took a turn for the better, or my situation improved dramatically, or everything shifted in an unexpected way. These kinds of expressions make your English sound more vivid and sophisticated. Say them with me. Things took a turn for the better. Again. My situation improved dramatically. One more. Everything shifted in an unexpected way. Excellent. Now think of a change in your life, big or small, and describe it with one of these phrases. Another useful area is expressing cause with nuance. Instead of only saying because, you can say owing to, due to the fact that, or on account of. These forms are advanced and often used in professional or academic English. Practice with me. The flight was delayed owing to bad weather. Again. The event was canceled due to the fact that the speaker was ill. One more. On account of traffic, we arrived late. Wonderful. Now practice with your own example. Think of a time you were delayed or had to change plans and explain it with one of these phrases. Let's now practice expressing contrast in advanced ways. We practiced although earlier, but let's add more. You can use in contrast, on the other hand, or while. For example, in contrast to last year, this summer has been very rainy, or On the other hand, staying home gave me more time to read. Or, while I enjoy traveling, I also love the comfort of home. Say them with me. In contrast to last year, this summer has been very rainy. Again. On the other hand, staying home gave me more time to read. And one more. While I enjoy traveling, I also love the comfort of home. Great. Now make your own sentence comparing two things in your life. Now let's move into phrases for advanced conversation fillers. Native speakers often use phrases like, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, or, to be honest with you. These add natural rhythm and give you time to think. Repeat after me. At the end of the day, practice is what really matters. Again, when it comes down to it, health is more important than money. One more. To be honest with you, I find this topic fascinating. Excellent. Now create your own filler phrase about learning English or daily life. Another useful area is advanced vocabulary for describing effort and difficulty. Instead of always saying, it's hard, you can say, it's challenging, it's demanding, or it requires a lot of effort. Instead of, it's easy, you could say, it's straightforward, or it's effortless. Say them with me. Learning a language is challenging, but rewarding. Again, the job is demanding, but it helps me grow. One more. This exercise is straightforward and simple to follow. Excellent. Now think of a task you've done recently and describe it using one of these advanced words. Let's practice expressing habits and routines in advanced ways. Instead of always saying, I always read, you can say, I make it a habit to read every evening. Or, it has become part of my daily routine. Or, I make sure to read before going to bed. These make your English sound polished. Say them with me. I make it a habit to read every evening. Again. It has become part of my daily routine to exercise in the morning. One more. I make sure to review my notes before class. Great. Now describe one of your own habits using one of these advanced expressions. Now let's focus on phrases for expressing expectations. Instead of saying, I expect this, advanced speakers say, I anticipated this would happen, or I was hoping for, or I had every intention of. These phrases show subtle meaning and fluency. Repeat after me. I anticipated this would happen eventually. Again. I was hoping for better results. And one more. I had every intention of finishing the project on time. Excellent. Now, practice with your own sentence. Maybe about a plan or goal you had. Finally, let's do some shadowing practice with a longer paragraph. Listen and repeat as closely as you can. Ready? Over the past few months, I've made it a habit to practice English every single day. At first, it was challenging, but gradually it became part of my routine. Now, at the end of the day, I actually look forward to spending time with English, whether I'm reading, listening, or speaking. Now let's try again, repeating together more smoothly. Over the past few months, I've made it a habit to practice English every single day. At first, it was challenging, but gradually it became part of my routine. Now, at the end of the day, I actually look forward to spending time with English, whether I'm reading, listening, or speaking. Perfect. This kind of extended shadowing practice helps you build rhythm, fluency, and confidence all at once. Now let's focus on advanced expressions for giving reasons. Beginners often just say, because, but advanced speakers use phrases like, the reason I say this is that, one of the main reasons is, or this is due to the fact that. These expressions make your explanations sound thoughtful and complete. Practice with me. The reason I say this is that practice really does make a difference. Again, one of the main reasons I enjoy reading is that it helps me relax. One more. This is due to the fact that English is widely spoken around the world. Excellent. Now create your own explanation about why you study English using one of these advanced phrases. Another key area is expressing probability in the present. Instead of saying, maybe he's at home, advanced speakers say, he's probably at home, or he's likely to be at home, or there's a chance he's still at work. These are subtle upgrades that make you sound natural. Say them with me. He's probably at home right now. Again. He's likely to be at home at this hour. One more. There's a chance he's still at work. Excellent. Now practice with your own idea about where your friend or family member might be right now. Now let's practice advanced phrases for showing contrast of opinion. Instead of only saying, but, you can say, whereas, in contrast, or on the contrary. For example, I prefer quiet places, whereas my sister loves noisy parties. Or, in contrast to last year, I feel much more confident now. Or, some people think English is difficult. On the contrary, I find it enjoyable. Repeat after me. I prefer quiet places, whereas my sister loves noisy parties. Again. In contrast to last year, I feel much more confident now. One more. Some people think English is difficult. On the contrary, I find it enjoyable. Great. Now make your own contrasting sentence out loud. Let's also work on phrases for emphasizing your ideas. Instead of saying, it's very important, you can say, it's absolutely essential, or it's of great importance, or it's crucial. These words give more strength to your sentences. Say them with me. It's absolutely essential to practice daily. Again. It's of great importance to listen carefully. One more. It's crucial to stay consistent if you want to improve. Excellent. Now create your own sentence about learning English using one of these advanced emphasis phrases. Now let's practice expressing likes and dislikes with nuance. Instead of just saying, I like it, you can say, I'm really into it, or I have a passion for it, or it appeals to me. Instead of saying, I don't like it, you can say, I'm not particularly keen on it, or it doesn't appeal to me, or it's not really my thing. Repeat after me. I'm really into photography these days. Again. I have a passion for learning new languages. One more. It appeals to me because it's creative. Now let's try the dislike phrases. I'm not particularly keen on loud music. Again. It doesn't appeal to me at all. One more. Sports are not really my thing. Great. Now practice with your own likes and dislikes using these phrases. Another area of advanced fluency is expressing certainty about the past. Instead of saying, I know he was late, you could say, he must have been late, or he was bound to be late, or there's no doubt he arrived after everyone else. These expressions sound advanced and precise. Say them with me. He must have been late to the meeting. Again. He was bound to be late given the traffic. One more. There's no doubt he arrived after everyone else. Perfect. Now make your own sentence about something that definitely happened in the past. Now let's practice expressing possibility in the future in an advanced way. Instead of only saying, maybe I will travel, you can say, I might travel next year, or I could possibly take a trip, or there's a chance I'll go abroad. These make your English more flexible. Repeat after me. I might travel abroad next summer. Again, I could possibly take a trip to Europe. One more. There's a chance I'll go abroad next year? Excellent. Now practice with your own plan or dream about the future. Finally, let's do another shadowing exercise with a natural daily life example. Repeat after me. Last weekend, I went to visit my grandparents. We had a wonderful time together, talking, laughing, and sharing stories. Even though the trip was short, it meant a lot to me. Again, more smoothly. Last weekend, I went to visit my grandparents. We had a wonderful time together, talking, laughing, and sharing stories. Even though the trip was short, it meant a lot to me. Perfect. This kind of shadowing helps you train your voice, rhythm, and confidence all at once. Now let's practice advanced ways of expressing uncertainty. Instead of only saying, I don't know, you can say, I'm not entirely sure, or it's hard to say, or I can't say for certain. These sound natural and polite, and they give you time to think while still sounding fluent. Say them with me. I'm not entirely sure about that. Again, it's hard to say at the moment. One more. I can't say for certain. Excellent. Now imagine someone asks you about a future event, like, will you travel next month? Respond out loud with one of these phrases. Another area of advanced English is making polite offers. Instead of saying, I can help you, you can say, shall I give you a hand? Or, would you like me to help you with that? Or, do you want me to take care of it for you? These sound warm and natural in everyday conversation. Practice with me. Shall I give you a hand with your bags? Again. Would you like me to help you with that? One more. Do you want me to take care of it for you? Excellent. Now imagine your friend is struggling with homework. Practice offering help politely. Now let's move to expressing advanced opinions politely. Beginners often say, I think it's bad, but advanced speakers say, I'm not convinced this is the best approach, or I have some reservations about this idea, or I wonder if this is the right solution. These are subtle, polite ways of giving opinions. Repeat after me. I'm not convinced this is the best approach. Again, I have some reservations about this idea. One more. I wonder if this is the right solution. Great. Now create your own polite opinion sentence about studying or daily habits. Let's also work on phrases for showing surprise and disbelief. Instead of just saying, really? You can say, you can't be serious, or are you kidding me? Or that's unbelievable. These are very common in spoken English and make you sound more advanced. Say them with me. You can't be serious. Again. Are you kidding me? One more. That's unbelievable. Excellent. Now imagine a friend tells you something shocking. React out loud with one of these advanced phrases. Another important area is expressing purpose. Instead of saying, I studied to pass the test, you can say, I studied in order to pass the test, or I studied so that I could pass the test, or I studied with the aim of passing the test. These variations make your English more flexible. Practice with me. I studied in order to pass the test. Again. I studied so that I could pass the test. One more. I studied with the aim of passing the test. Great. Now make your own purpose sentence about practicing English. Now let's practice advanced phrases for agreeing conditionally. Instead of just saying yes, you can say, I agree to some extent, or that's true in certain cases, or I can see your point, but only if. These are useful in discussions or debates. Say them with me. I agree to some extent. Again. That's true in certain cases. One more. I can see your point, but only if the situation is different. Excellent. Now imagine someone says, watching movies is the best way to learn English. Respond with one of these conditional agreement phrases. Another area of advanced fluency is phrases for making comparisons. Instead of saying, this book is better, you can say, this book is far superior, or this book is much more engaging, or compared to that one, this book is more detailed. These expressions help you sound precise and fluent. Say them with me. This book is far superior to the other one. Again. This book is much more engaging than the one I read before. One more. Compared to that one, this book is more detailed and informative. Excellent. Now make your own comparison sentence about food, movies, or study habits. Finally, let's do another shadowing exercise. Repeat with me. Yesterday, I was completely exhausted after work, but instead of staying home, I decided to go out with friends. It turned out to be a great decision because I had an amazing time and I felt much more relaxed afterward. Let's try again, smoothly. Yesterday, I was completely exhausted after work, but instead of staying home, I decided to go out with friends. It turned out to be a great decision because I had an amazing time and I felt much more relaxed afterward. Perfect. Practicing longer sentences like this will make your fluency flow naturally. Now let's focus on advanced ways to express certainty and confidence about the future. Instead of only saying, I'm sure, you can say, I'm absolutely convinced, or I have no doubt whatsoever, or I can say with complete confidence. These give your speech strength and make you sound very fluent. Say them with me. I'm absolutely convinced this is the right choice. Again. I have no doubt whatsoever about the results. One more. I can say with complete confidence that you'll improve with daily practice. Excellent. Now practice with your own example. Say something about your English learning with one of these phrases. Next, let's practice advanced expressions for regret. Instead of just saying, I regret it, you can say, I wish I hadn't. Or, if only I had, or, looking back, I should have. These structures are used all the time by advanced speakers to express reflection. Repeat after me. I wish I hadn't wasted so much time. Again, if only I had studied harder last year. One more. Looking back, I should have spoken up in the meeting. Excellent. Now create your own regret sentence about something you wanted to do differently. Say it out loud now. Another area of advanced English is showing appreciation politely. Instead of always saying, thank you, you can say, I really appreciate it, or that means a lot to me, or I can't thank you enough. These add warmth and depth to your gratitude. Say them with me. I really appreciate your help. Again. That means a lot to me. One more. I can't thank you enough for your support. Great. Now imagine a friend helped you with English. Say one of these sentences out loud as if you're speaking to them. Let's now work on advanced ways of making complaints politely. Instead of saying, "This is bad," you can say, "I'm not satisfied with this." Or, "I was expecting something better." Or, "I'm afraid this doesn't meet my expectations." These phrases are especially useful in customer service situations. Repeat after me. I'm not satisfied with this product. Again. I was expecting something better from the service. One more. I'm afraid this doesn't meet my expectations. Excellent. Now imagine you ordered food at a restaurant and it arrived cold. Make a polite complaint using one of these phrases. Now let's practice advanced ways of giving compliments. Instead of only saying, "Good job," you can say, "You did an outstanding job," or "That was truly impressive," or "I'm really amazed by your work." These make your compliments sound stronger and more genuine. Say them with me. You did an outstanding job. Again. That was truly impressive. One more. I'm really amazed by your work. Great. Now imagine a friend has improved their English. Give them one of these compliments out loud. Another area is expressing advanced agreement in disque. Scenes. Instead of just saying, "I agree," you can say, "That's exactly my point," or "We're on the same page," or "That's precisely how I see it." These are common in professional and friendly conversations. Repeat after me. That's exactly my point. Again. We're on the same page. One more. That's precisely how I see it. Excellent. Now imagine someone says, "Daily practice improves fluency." Respond with one of these agreement phrases out loud. Now let's move to expressions for giving reasons in debates. Instead of simply saying, "Because," you can say, "The main reason is," or "This comes down to the fact that," or "What it really boils down to is." These make your speech sound persuasive and advanced. Say them with me. The main reason is consistency in practice. Again. This comes down to the fact that language learning requires patience. One more. What it really boils down to is motivation. Excellent. Now give your own reason about why English practice is important, using one of these phrases. Finally, let's do another shadowing practice with a longer example. Repeat after me. Over the past year, I've realized that fluency isn't about knowing every single word. It's about being able to express yourself clearly, even when you don't know the perfect word. At the end of the day, communication is more important than perfection. Again, smoothly. Over the past year, I've realized that fluency isn't about knowing every single word. It's about being able to express yourself clearly, even when you don't know the perfect word. At the end of the day, communication is more important than perfection. Wonderful. Practicing whole thoughts like this will help you sound confident in real situations. Now let's practice advanced expressions for giving advice. Instead of just saying, "You should," you can say, "If I were you, I'd," or "It might be wise to," or "Have you considered?" These phrases make your advice sound thoughtful and polite. Say them with me. If I were you, I'd practice English every day. Again. It might be wise to listen to more English conversations in your free time. One more. Have you considered joining an online speaking group? Excellent. Now think of a piece of advice you could give to a new English learner and say it out loud with one of these phrases. Next, let's work on expressions for expressing satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Instead of just saying, I'm happy, you can say, I'm really pleased with this, or I'm quite satisfied with the results. And instead of only saying, I don't like it, you could say, I'm not very happy about this, or I'm rather disappointed. Practice with me. I'm really pleased with my progress. Again, I'm quite satisfied with the results so far. Now the other side. I'm not very happy about this mistake. And one more. I'm rather disappointed with the outcome. Excellent. Now try making your own satisfaction and dissatisfaction sentences out loud. Now let's add expressions for emphasizing importance. Instead of always saying, it's important, you can say, it's absolutely vital, or it's of great significance, or it's crucial to success. Say them with me. It's absolutely vital to stay consistent. Again, it's of great significance to practice speaking regularly. One more. It's crucial to build confidence step by step. Excellent. Now practice with your own example. Say something about English learning using one of these advanced importance phrases. Let's now look at advanced phrases for persuasion. Instead of just saying, you should try, you can say, I strongly recommend that you, or it would greatly benefit you if, or I truly believe you'll find it useful to. These are very persuasive and natural. Repeat after me. I strongly recommend that you shadow English sentences daily. Again. It would greatly benefit you if you practiced speaking with a partner. One more. I truly believe you'll find it useful to write in English every evening. Excellent. Now imagine you are convincing a friend to practice more. Say one of these persuasion phrases out loud. Now let's practice expressions for describing improvement. Instead of just saying, I got better, you can say, I've made great progress, or I've improved tremendously, or I've come a long way. These are motivating and advanced. Say them with me. I've made great progress this year. Again. I've improved tremendously in my speaking skills. One more. I've come a long way since I started learning. Wonderful. Now practice your own progress sentence about English out loud. Another skill is expressing possibility and impossibility. Instead of only saying, it's possible, you can say, there's a likelihood, or it's within the realm of possibility, or it could very well happen. For impossibility, advanced speakers say, there's no way, or that's out of the question, or it's simply not possible. Practice with me. There's a likelihood of success if you stay consistent. Again. It could very well happen if you keep practicing. Now the impossibility phrases. There's no way this can be done without effort. Again. That's out of the question. Excellent. Now make your own sentence about possibility or impossibility. Now let's end this masterclass with a shadowing exercise that combines many of the expressions we've practiced. Repeat after me. Over time, I've come a long way in my English learning journey. I strongly believe that daily practice is absolutely vital and I'm convinced that consistency is the key. Even though it can sometimes be challenging, it's within the realm of possibility to reach fluency if you keep going. At the end of the day, what really matters is confidence and communication. Now let's do it again, smoothly. Over time, I've come a long way in my English learning journey. I strongly believe that daily practice is absolutely vital, and I'm convinced that consistency is the key. Even though it can sometimes be challenging, it's within the realm of possibility to reach fluency if you keep going. At the end of the day, what really matters is confidence and communication. Wonderful. And before we finish, I want to remind you, every word you speak, every sentence you practice, every exercise you do brings you closer to real fluency. So don't stop now. Keep practicing daily. Keep repeating, keep shadowing, and keep believing in yourself. You are capable of reaching an advanced level, and I'll be here to guide you along the way. Thank you for joining me today in this Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, make sure to subscribe to English in Minutes and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, give this video a like and share it with your friends who are also learning English. Keep practicing, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next lesson.